getting our LinkedIn stream, and then we're going to get started. It's been a little slow in the uptick lately. There we go. Awesome. So let's swipe this baby over here, and we're good to go. This is sweet. Give me a little bit of patience. If you comment on LinkedIn, give it a little bit of patience because it usually doesn't pop up for the first bit. But cool. We are here, and we have a whole new format. I'm very excited about this. So I got my little microphone right here, and I'm down here on the screen. I can do this, and I get cut off right about up there. But I'm really excited about it. So I got a green screen. I just set it up today. There's a whole shebang, whole situation from a bunch of different little places, and Amazon shipped it to me. I just had to set it up. It was a whole long ass process, but it was a lot of fun. And now we're here, and now we're doing fun things, and we're really excited about it. So today is talking about Instagram and LinkedIn ads specifically, but interesting, multi-streaming with so I changed this, whatever, I'll figure it out later. So we're talking about running ads today. We're talking about running LinkedIn and Instagram ads specifically to build followers on social media, right? This is something that I've tried out before. This is something that I've seen a lot of people have a lot of success with. It's interesting. So I yesterday ran a few ads and on LinkedIn and on Instagram for my personal Instagram account and for one of my business accounts on LinkedIn. And we're going to go over the results today. And we don't have a ton of results, but there's still tons of lessons learned. And I'm really interested to check out some stats. So I peeked them today, but I didn't really fully go into them, so it's going to be just as shocking to me. So, excuse me. Cool. So I'm going to keep refreshing LinkedIn because it usually takes a while for the comments to pop up. Whatever. Anyway, so that's what we're doing today. We're talking about ads. And I want to talk about why that's important. So there's a lot of people all over the internet that just love to, and especially some firms, some agencies in terms of social, always claim hey, I can help you grow to 1 million followers on Instagram or wherever. And I'm sure they can do that, whatever. But usually the strategy that I've seen that works for most people as just a very consistent thing is running ads on yourself, right? And that means something very specific. And so let me show you. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. No, I'm not. Oh, yes, I am. No, I'm not. Okay, we're good. So let me show you what I mean by that. So what nerd, Instagram ad. Perfect. So, boop. I'm not sure if you can hear this. If you can't, let me know. But yeah, so this is me. I just made myself a little ad, Instagram ad. I'm wearing my little entrepreneur hoodie, hoorah, because I'm advertising myself. Yeah, cool new video format. Check it out, and I can point to the little comments right here. It's good stuff. I enjoyed a lot. I got a new webcam, I got a new mic, new everything. So we're chilling. We are having fun. But anyway, let me recycle this again. Make sure I'm not missing anything. There we go. What's up, Jess? How's it going, dude? Sorry I'm late. I had to get a quick duo win. What we're doing, we are talking about ads today. So I ran a bunch of ads on Instagram and on LinkedIn. Look at my freaked out face. I'm going to show you some of the results from the ads, and we're going to just basically, based on the data, go off of what I did right, what I did wrong, how you can run ads on yourself on social media to hopefully gain more followers, and why it's important as a strategy overall. So anyway, this is what I mean by an ad. This is an example, and I'll show you a couple of other examples. But this is my example. Let me see if you can hear this. Yeah, you should be able to hear this. Tell me if you can't hear it.
Live stream online called Entrepreneur.
Nerd. Basically trying to build. Yeah.
Startups live. If you like what I
do, you can swipe up to check out my profile, help and give me feedback. So that's an example, right? That's just a cute little example of me hopping on, and that's on Instagram, right? So that's vertical. The reason the video was vertical. So on my phone, right here. Ooh, that was cool. I can reflect the green screen. Yeah, woohoo! I'm glad you like the format, and I can point to who's craftier, or if you can see that. Yeah, whatever. I'm going to change the little format for the things too later, but we are improving the stream. Anyway, on your phone, I'm scrolling through Instagram, whatever, just scrolling through stories. That was a story ad. Story ads, I've heard from a few relatively reputable sources, are the best converting in terms of Facebook ads right now. So that's all fine and dandy. That's why I use that. And as I'm on Instagram, just scrolling through stories, actually I can show how that works just to give an example. Here I'm looking at my friend Alan's story, and I'm clicking. That's an ad, I think. Yeah, that's a SoundCloud ad. So that's an ad, and then it keeps scrolling and it keeps scrolling, right? So like that's when the ad pops up. It just pops as you're scrolling through stories, and I've heard those engage relatively well. And I've tried them in the past, and they did engage relatively well. And so I figured I would give it another shot. But that's the format that I was doing, and that's why it's all vertical and whatever. And usually the strategy, I'll go over the strategy actually in the future. Show my Insta ads, explain the audiences, talk strats for video format. Cool. But yeah, so the reason the ads are important is because a lot of people do this. A lot of people run ads like this, and this is a very, very common format for running advertising and gaining followers online. It doesn't always work. It's not super easy. It is not a cure-all. It is not an automatic 1 million follower, clever, like get-rich-quick, immediate success strategy by any means, and there are plenty of ways to fuck it up, and I think I fucked this one up, so we'll talk about it. But anyway, that's how people often, some people that I know, gain followers. And yes, it's about posting consistently. Yes, it's about using the right hashtags. But by and large, if you want to like aggressively like pay some money, get some followers, you make a nice video ad. You make a nice video ad on Instagram, and you have them swipe up and it goes right to your profile, right? So that is what I did, and I've done this in the past, and I did this now, and we're trying it out again, and we're going to see how that worked well, right? But that's why ads are important, because it's a very, very, very common strategy for growing your follower base on Instagram. So, because it's so hard to get found by the algorithm because it's so populated. But anyway, let me make sure I'm still. There we go. Cool. Let me know if anything isn't working, by the way, because I have a bunch of new tech on this stream. So that's great. Cool. The first person that I learned this from, quick little story, is Finn. Finn is amazing. Finn is super, super cool. Let me go show you. Finn Thurmayer. A beautiful little boy. Look at him. Look at his little face. He's this gorgeous, wonderful, happy, wholesome little human being. Yeah, that's Jay. Jay's great. I made a bunch of friends through him online. He's just generally a really, really awesome dude. And he's very, very smart with a lot of different things. And one of the things that he's really, really great at is, first of all, LinkedIn. He's incredible at LinkedIn, but he's really, really good at Instagram. And his follower count has fluctuated every once in a while, but he's gone anywhere from like 30K to 20K, and that's been his main platform for a while. And he's very, very clever with his stories. He talks all about what he's reading, what he's doing. There's a whole bunch of he's goofing around. There's Finn, yeah. He's super cool. But anyway, so I talked to him like, it must have been 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago, like a year and a half ago, around the time that I started posting on LinkedIn. And worked out really well. Great guy, finally got his attention, but he taught me all about Instagram and how that functions. And the first thing that he told me, I asked him how he built his following, and it was almost entirely through that strategy of showing like ads, right? But he was really, really clever with them. I never fully understood his strategies, but like if you want Instagram help, just watch what he does and try to emulate him. But he's a great guy, beautiful boy, love him. And he's basically all of the experiments that I've done around Instagram have been because of him. So a little bit stuffy today. Apologies. Cool. So, when I tried this before, I tried it like 2 summers ago. So not this past summer, but the summer before that. So like a year and a half ago. And basically, it was around the time that I spoke to Finn and started to become friends with Finn. But basically what I did, and we can go check that out actually on Ads Manager. An entrepreneur will become rich and throw supporters away. Why do you keep saying that, Kenneth? That's unbelievable. I am offended horribly that you would even think such a thing. I will never do something like that. Where the flip-flop? Where are we? I've spent $250 on ads? Really? Wow, I've done a lot of screwing around. This is interesting. Have I really done that much? Interesting. Wow, I've done a lot. Huh. Oh, this is for something else. This is my personal account. Campaigns. Here we go. Okay, cool. Where was it? Entrepreneur 2. Yes. View charts. So this worked. What's up, Kenny? I forgot. I couldn't remember if you wanted to call me Kenny. Call you Kenny or Kenneth. I appreciate you hopping on. So, where was it? It was this one, right? Yeah, so this is an old Instagram story ad that I ran. This is the first one that I ran. I don't know if we can hear what it says. What did you find to be the cost per follower gains from Instagram ads? Yeah. So we'll get to that. I want to explain. Yeah, swipe up and beat my story to see what I'm about. So I just wrote this. But this is what it was. This is the same format. It's essentially saying the same thing, right? Oh, my hair was totally different. Wow, I look way different. Anyway, so this is the format from the ad that I ran before, and the format from the ad, the other ad, the one that I ran most recently, you saw, right? So, but that one had totally different things. This was the cost per 1,000 people reached for that one was about 5 cents. And let me see if I can. We'll get to the stats in a second. Where was I again? Anyway, so that was the last ad that I ran, right? That was about a year and a half ago, a while ago, totally different, like economy on Instagram. Things have changed probably a lot since then, and so I'm expecting that that's the reason that things perform so differently, because my ad recently was relatively similar but wasn't as popular. So, anyway, I ran that ad back then, and some really funny stuff happened. I've told this story before, but I want to go over it again just because it's kind of entertaining. Like, this kind of stuff is really fun to me because like it's genuinely just like goofing around. Like this is entertaining for me. And I highly recommend, like, if you're just bored one day, like, and you're about to like go out for a dinner or go out to a movie and spend like, I don't know, however much money, like $40, $50, just like consider goofing around with like an ad or something like that and just seeing what kind of responses you get, because this is actually very entertaining. This so entertaining little story that happened from when I last ran the ads, which was year and a half ago. Different economy. I ran the ad just basically towards people that like entrepreneurship, people from like, I think like 13 years old to like 28 years old. It's a very broad little like mostly kids but like young adults kind of thing. And it worked really well, and people responded to that. And I think I got like, ended up being like, I spent $50 and I got like 50 followers on my Instagram account, which is right here, right? So entrepreneur_nerd, because entrepreneur is taken. Very frustrating. That's what I did. And so 50-ish of these followers, of this 420, of these 420 followers are from an ad, right? And they've stuck with me. I think probably like a good bit of them have left since I haven't really posted much. But regardless, I still find people on that Instagram that I've never met before because they've just been on my Insta for a while because of those ads, right? And a couple funny things happened when I first ran that ad. So I got around 50 followers from $50, and I ran it again towards people that were interested in entrepreneurship, right? That's what you expect, the people that follow me, right? You would expect them to be interested in entrepreneurship. And I think I had like 10 people that seemed like young professionals or college students or people in entrepreneurship classes, or just like interested parties, right? And then the other 40 or 45 were just teenage girls. And so that kind of gives you a bit of an example into, and like people would message me and be like, "Hey, what's up?" And it would be some girl, and I'd be like, "Hey, like, did you see my ad? Like, are you interested in entrepreneurship? Like, are you interested in learning? Is there anything that I can help with?" And they were like, "No, I'm just here to hang out." And so it was really frustrating. It was a little frustrating, but like the point is, like, Instagram is a much different economy and a much different world than, say, LinkedIn, right? And so, or LinkedIn over here. And so it's just be aware of like, a lot of things are very superficial on Instagram, and that's something that we've known, and it's something that everybody talks about, and blah, 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 blah. Who knows what that means, but the point is, a lot of the people on Instagram will follow you for reasons that you probably don't necessarily want. I don't know. Just be aware. But it was funny, and I ended up having a few awesome conversations with like 2 or 3 people, 2 or 3 kids that were trying to make stuff happen. One was designing a card game online. I've told this story. Tell me if you want me to tell this story again, but like they were designing a card game online, and I helped them find tools and helped them with their strategy so they didn't spend money in the wrong way. And it was a whole really awesome system. And then there was this really this cool young girl, I think she was in high school, and she was designing an Instagram page to try to sell making furniture because she knew how to make a couple of really cool pieces of furniture from hand, and she was charging relatively high prices for that. Or maybe it was boxes. Maybe I had like 3 conversations. But she asked me a bunch of questions about like, how does this work? How do you sell on social? How do I like set up shops? And we went through it together, and I was able to help a little bit, and it ended up being really, really cool. So I had a couple of really awesome conversations just with random people. Just from running this ad, and that was totally way beyond worth it. But the rest of them probably, I think, were just teenage girls that were just like, oh, he looks funny, or he looks like a dork, and they hopped on and they just kind of sat there. It's a little creepy. It's a little weird, but like, hey, that's Instagram for you. But it was funny, regardless, right? Plenty of fun stories. I always love it, and that was totally worth the $50 that I spent. I would much rather do that. That's so much more fun to me than than going out or like, I don't know, going to a big fancy dinner or going to a couple movies, or consider doing this kind of stuff. Like I want to encourage the concept that this kind of stuff is fun. Like just like doing little businessy experiments and messing around here and there is really fun. And there's totally room to do it. What's up, George? Yeah, I love the webcam format. It looks like I'm like creeping up from behind the background. I'm really digging it. So let me see if I can scoot myself up a couple pics. Does that work? Yeah, that's good. No, I'm very happy about the new webcam format. And check it out. I can big myself. I can make myself take up the whole screen. Ha 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 ha. So we're chilling on my little desktop. I like it. There's still a little bit of fuzzies. There's some stuff that I gotta fix, but I really enjoy it. So yeah, I want to encourage the concept that this kind of stuff is fun. This is like very entertaining for me, and this could be very entertaining for you. I would really suggest just like messing around on the internet, right? Because it ends up being like really interesting and really, really funny. Let me, dang it. Ba 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 ba. Is that good? Maybe a little bit bigger. Yeah, we're good. Okay, cool. So I want to encourage the concept that this kind of stuff is fun, and that's what we're doing today. We are having heckin' fun. Cool. But yeah. So I showed you my Insta ad, right? My Instagram ad. This is the Instagram ad where I'm just kind of chit-chatting about like what I do, and then I give like 4 seconds at the end for people to choose like whether or not they want to swipe up and check out what I'm doing, right? Oh, hush, Kenny. I am just fine at this size. We need to be able to see what I'm actually doing on the screen. But yeah, so I ran that ad in 4 different ways. And let me view the charts. Let's see where we're at. Yeah, so I ran this on 4 different audiences. No, that's not one. There we go. I ran this on 4 different audiences. So far, I have spent $16, not that much money. I planned on spending like $50, but we're gonna probably keep it low. Like we're getting plenty of data. So we've reached 48,000 people, around 48,000 people, and these are the demographics. What demographics are we working with? So up here, yeah. Okay, cool. Placement. Yeah, it's all on Instagram, delivery, blah, 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 whatever. So the 4 audiences, those 45 were a different kind of entrepreneur. We're magnifying glasses. Are you looking at me on a phone? Like, what format are you looking at, Kenny? Anyway, so 33 cents per result, and this is reach. So quick little strategy discussion. When you are running these kinds of ads, I've been told that the best way to make something, like the cheapest way to do this kind of thing, or at least experiment with it, is to work with reach. And so you target your ads in reach, right? Optimization for ad delivery reach. You check this out in the first little bit. When you're first making the ad, you can just go to Instagram business. What is reach of an ad? So I'm glad you asked. Reach is just like a setting on the ad when you're first making it. It's like the first option that you have, the first choice that you make. It's like a setting for the ad to maximize the number of people that receive the ad, right? You can also maximize it for like link clicks. You can maximize it for like video watches. You can maximize it for swipe ups. You can maximize it for whatever. But the cheapest thing that I've seen or I've been told to reach the most people is reach, right? So it just pushes it out to as many people as you can. So as long as you can make a really, really engaging ad, I don't think I did as well as I did last time. It ends up being cheaper this way. That's just what I've heard. I'm not an expert on this. Like I can, when it comes to most of this kind of stuff, I can go fuck myself because I really don't know. I'm not like deep into this kind of ad stuff, and I would suggest you talk to a professional or somebody that's done marketing in this sector. Or marketing to consumers on Instagram. But yeah, that's what reach means. Reach means it is pushed out to the maximum number of people. And when it gives me stats, it's going to be in terms of reach, right? So general entrepreneurship overall, I set a daily budget of like $25, and the amount of money that it's spending, let me go view charts in here. Actually, we're just going to click into this. Yeah, cool. So the reach, these are the reach for each of my little audiences, and what it charges me for and what it keeps track of charging me for mainly, and what it optimizes for, because if I set it to reach, is cost per 1,000 people reached, right? So it makes it as cheap as possible to get it in front of 1,000 people, and maximize the number of impressions that I get. So that's what the setting reach means. And as a result, it optimizes for that. So some interesting things happen. And the four like groups that I chose, just to test things out and get a little bit of experience so we can talk more. Yeah, look, CPM, cost per 1,000 impressions. That's what it optimizes for. That's what like the more people that see the ad, yes, reaches number of unique impressions. That's a great way to say it, I think. Or it can be. It doesn't have to be unique. I think it's just how many times you're. No. Reaches number of people. Reaches number of people. Yeah. But anyway, it's basically the same thing as impressions. Sometimes it'll show it to the same person twice. I don't like to do that usually, but I might try that at some point. I don't know. I don't know what is optimized for this, and I still have a lot to experiment with. But regardless, I picked 4 audiences, and I picked it with the same exact ad, this one that I showed you here, right? Me just talking in my little hoodie, blabbing about how I do stuff, and it was a 15-minute little ad, or 15-second little ad. 15-minute ad, oof. It's like an infomercial. Usually it takes multiple views of an ad, so maybe instead of 40, maybe better. Yeah, no, that's a good point. That is a good point, Jess. Excuse me. I should mute my microphone whenever I blow my nose. But I'm lazy. So yes, that I've heard. I've heard a lot about that. So I may want to try that. What Jess is saying is that it usually, based on, can I mush this any further? Does not look like I can. I'll mush it back. Yeah, no, very good point, Jess. So I think when I clicked on like one ad in my life, but when I did click on that ad, it's because I saw it like something like 30 times, right? I saw it over and over again. Eventually I was like, all right, what's going on here? And I got engaged, right? And I don't think I bought a product out of it, but like the reason that you get shown the same ad multiple times is because there is some weird effect where we see something multiple times, we get more comfortable with it. When we get more comfortable with it, we start to trust it more. And there's this weird psychological kind of habit that people have to trust things that they see multiple times, to trust things that they start to continually see. And so that's why a lot of companies and brands and people run ads to you, the same ads multiple times. They're doing that on purpose, I swear, I promise. Just because like it ends up working. And you're absolutely right, Jess. So I deliberately made this so people can only see my ad once. Maybe that was a mistake, right? Maybe I want to run that ad multiple times to people. Maybe that works. I feel like this is a different format from buying a product. But You may totally be right. Maybe it's cheaper that way. I have no idea. But actually, we'll check because we're gonna go and review my last ad because that did significantly better than this ad, and we're gonna review the stats and compare the stats off of this one versus the old one because the old one did a lot better. And we're gonna try to discuss why that may have happened. So anyway, the 4 people that I chose to target just for testing purposes were college freshmen and sophomores, so anywhere from 18 to 20, and you're in college. And I set that is all I set. Business and tech students, so I picked the top 3 tech schools and the top 5 business schools, and I chose people between I think 18 and 22. So anybody that is an undergraduate student at some of these really major universities like Stanford, like Harvard, like MIT, like Babson College. Babson isn't necessarily a really highly ranked school, but they're very big in entrepreneurship. Everything like that, I targeted very deliberately. So that was what that was about. And because of the funny little story that happened last time, just to see how this kind of functions, I targeted teenage girls just to see who cares about what. Now, my audience, my message is not at all leaning towards teenage girls. It probably my theory is that nobody would engage, right? But we'll see how that happens because that was the demographic that ended up engaging most with my audience with my ad last time. So we're gonna see how that compares from then to now. So I think it was 14 to 18, or 14 to 17, or something around there, and just that broadly, nothing picked down anywhere after that. And then general entrepreneurship was just people I think 14 to 28, same thing as last time. Just the only interest that they had, that I put down to narrow it down, was entrepreneurship, and that was it. You can sort by interests. You can sort by blah blah blah. I was accepted to Babson. You're absolutely right. I was accepted to Babson University, and there's a lot of really cool startups that have come out of there. And so I'm trying to make some relationships with some kids over there at some point, just by running ads and by targeting some of the stuff that I'm doing, and by reaching out on LinkedIn, just because I like what they do. But anyway, cool, right? So the general entrepreneurship was essentially the same exact audience that I had before. That I targeted before. So we're mostly going to be comparing this one and my old ad, right? But regardless, we can learn a ton about how this kind of stuff works. So what else were we going to be talking about? Talk strats for video format. The only really strategy for video format that I was given was vertical, first of all. On Instagram stories, they should be video ads because video ads are 10 times more engaging or something. This is just stuff that I've heard. Don't necessarily quote me on it. I'm not an expert by this in any means, but if you want me to run ads for you, fuck it, I'll do it. And then you give 4 seconds or so at the end. You fade to something like this or swipe up to something like this and give them time to consider should I swipe up? Should I check this guy out? Should I peek this guy's profile? And then the link that you attach to the link that you attach to the ad is just your Instagram profile or your Instagram profile URL. So when you swipe up, it goes right to their Instagram profile, right? And they have the option to follow you or whatever. That's the only format that I really know anything about. And then we'll go over the LinkedIn ad after that. But yeah, so these are the audiences that I chose, and let's kind of look over differences because this gets really interesting because it costs more to reach certain people and it costs less to reach certain people. This is for reach, optimized for reach, so it's trying to minimize the amount of money that I have to spend to get 1,000 impressions, right? To get as many impressions as possible. So the interesting thing is college freshmen, sophomores, I got a decent amount of impressions. I got 2,000, and I'm running these all equally, right? I was pushing these all out equally, and so whatever Facebook sees as this is doing better, it starts to push it more to those people, and so it ends up spending more money on that. But yeah, so 2,000, about 2,000 reach. Frequency, I'm not sure. Oh yeah, frequency 1 per person. So that's only one person was seeing this ad out. Every person that saw this ad only saw it once. Maybe we want to change that to 3, right, or something like that in the future. Cost per 1,000 people reach. So for 1,000 people to see my ad, it cost $1, $1.02. Pretty freaking cheap. It's pretty cheap to run these ads if you run them right. Not that I'm running them right. And then impressions, of course, because the frequency was only this much, the impressions was this many. if this frequency was like 3, the impressions would be 3 times as much as the reach, because I'm pretty sure it reaches the number of people you've taught, like you that have seen your ad, and impressions is the number of times people have seen your ad. So that would be like this reach times frequency is impressions. So cost per 1,000 people reached, $1, right? Now on business and tech students, I would expect people to respond pretty well to this kind of thing, right? I would expect people to respond pretty well to this because it's business and tech students. Like, this is the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. It's exactly my content. It's very entrepreneurship based, right? Or at least if you're in business or tech, you're decently interested in entrepreneurship, or you've heard about it and you're like, maybe it's one of your classes you're taking. I don't know. I just assumed that might be a bit of an interest point for them. But interestingly enough, they are very expensive in comparison to everybody else to reach, because it was $1.70, $1.69 to reach 1,000 of them. Whereas with college freshmen and sophomores, it was only $1, and for my other ones, it was only like 25 cents or 34 cents, right? So something interesting is going on here. They're much harder to reach, or they're much more expensive to reach because, and as a result, it spent like twice as less because it was more expensive, and they're trying to optimize for less expense. It's interesting that they're more expensive because they're probably advertised too much more, right? People probably want to get more attention from these business and tech students because they're probably going to make a little bit of money when they graduate college. They probably have, like, when you go to business or tech school, you probably have parents that are like relatively supportive of you. You're not necessarily always going on a full scholarship, right? So they're assuming that these people are bigger buyers, right? That's what people are. People are running ads towards those types of people, towards business and tech students at these top universities, a lot more than people are running ads towards other people in general, right? And so as a result of that, it's more expensive. It's more expensive to advertise to them. So maybe that's not who I want to be advertising to, right? Regardless, I only spent like $1.70 on reaching about 1,000 of them, probably $2 overall. Fuck it, right? Who cares? This is a very small test. And I'm going to shut all these down actually soon, just because I don't want to spend any more money, because we've learned a good amount, and I know that my ad sucks. And I need to change it. Interestingly enough, teenage girls, ridiculous amounts of reach, especially in comparison to everything else. The frequency is still the same, but the cost per 1,000 people reached, apparently people don't really care to advertise to teenage girls. It's just not that expensive. It was like 25 cents. It was like a fraction of what it costs to advertise towards students, freshmen and sophomores, or students at these top tech colleges. So it was a fraction of what it costs. And that's the reason that it boosted up impressions so much, because Facebook saw this costs way less. So we're going to pump way more into this because he's getting way more impressions out of this. And so it's optimizing my ad, right? This one's doing way, way better. More people are viewing this, and they're way, way cheaper to advertise to this audience. So let's put more into this. So he gets more impressions for his money. It's great. It helps you optimize. But it's interesting that nobody really targets teenage girls. And that was like I would assume teenage girls have just as much buying power as college freshmen and sophomores, right? Because that captures that's relatively the same age demographic. I guess maybe once you get to college, you're a bit more of a buyer when it comes to stuff. I don't know. But 13 to 18, I think 14 to 18 is, I guess, just not assumed to be a big buyer. So, but it's good to know, right? It's good to know that it's really cheap to advertise. So maybe they don't buy things because it's very clear that they don't buy things from the low cost per impressions. But if they follow people, maybe that's an audience that I want to advertise to in the future, just to get cheaper follows. And it's going to be lame because they're not going to necessarily be. I probably wouldn't want to do that because they're not going to actually want to engage with my content. They're just going to be hey, let's just follow this for the fuck of it, right? So it probably wouldn't be helpful to my brand, and it wouldn't be helpful to my business. But if I just wanted more followers, that might be a strategy, right? If I just wanted to boost followers and I wanted to do it as cheaply as humanly possible, maybe that would be a strategy. Maybe I make some ads that relatively engage that audience a bit more. Good to know, though, right? It really depends on what you're advertising for. Maybe it costs more to advertise things to teen girls, and teen girls tend to buy. I don't think Facebook... That's an interesting point. I don't think Facebook can tell what I'm actually advertising them, right? Maybe it tells because I send them to a landing page or I send them to my Instagram profile. But for the most part, I don't think Facebook can tell what I'm actually advertising. It's just like whatever performs, right? So I don't think they really care if I'm making money off of it, as long as like they get to sell me ads. It would be interesting though if they actually could like segment the content that I'm putting out on the video ad. I think that's a bit too deep. It might be able to tell from the keywords, maybe, but I can't imagine they would charge more to give different keywords. Like however your ad performs. Maybe they're that segmented, maybe they're really corrupt like that, but I can't imagine that's not fair like to advertisers, right? Because just because you're advertising something else you have to pay more, that doesn't really make sense. It's like you can advertise it or you can't, and whether or not the audience engages is up to them. I'm pretty sure that's how it works, but that would be interesting. But I didn't really put many keywords anywhere in my ad. Like it was just me talking. Yes, I had a little bit of keywords in my captions for my video, but like beyond that, I can't imagine they actually go that deep. But who knows? Facebook is a weird ass company and they go real deep on a whole lot of things. But it'll be interesting. But regardless, most of the reason that it's so cheap is because apparently people just don't advertise that much to teenage girls, and it's easier to get to them because they're advertised to less. So there's less competition, and the bidding war in terms of my ads is easier for me to win, right? So it costs less money. What does Jess say? They know, lol. Crypto ads get blocked a lot just because it's crypto. Plus, they know how many words are on the advert graphic. Very good point, Jess. So that's actually a good point. Yeah. They know, but I'm almost positive that the majority of the reason is simply because of a bidding war, right? That's usually how ads function on Google, on LinkedIn, on wherever. It's a bidding system. So I submit my bid for $1.25 to show it to 1,000 people, or like 25 cents to show it to 1,000 people, where somebody else might only be willing to do something else, right? Like the bidding is usually how it functions, and that's why these things like cost different things. The buyer was well funded; they would charge more. Yes, exactly. If you're like to advertise to like investors or people like with a monthly income of over $10,000, like because you can segment it by income, that would cost a lot more because they have the money to buy things that you're selling, right? And so that's gonna like. They're not looking at that, and they're not saying like Facebook isn't saying it's more expensive to buy to these people. Facebook is like most of the time saying less people are advertising to these people, so it costs less for you because there's less of a fight between your ad and somebody else's, right? Because there's less of a bidding war between your ad and somebody else's. Because when an ad pops up, whoever's more willing to pay more based on what they submitted here, it will run their ad, and it'll cost them that much money, right? That's usually how it works, and that's usually how most online advertising works, period. It's a bidding war. So if a lot of people are really trying to get these people's attention, there's limited space for you to show your ad because everybody else is trying really, really hard to get there. And so when there is limited space, it's harder to reach them. Referring to the ad buyer, not the audience. Oh, okay. Okay, interesting. You're saying that like if I have a lot of money, Facebook would charge me more for ads. I don't know if they can do that. That would be wild. I don't know. I think we're getting distracted. The main lesson here is that it's a bidding war, right? It's just if people are harder to reach because tons of people are advertising them, it's going to cost more money to actually get our ad shown to them, right? So like business and tech students at these top universities they're probably assuming that, their parents have money or whatever the heck. And there's like more people are advertising them, probably like 8 times more or 7 times more people are advertising to them because there may be more potential there, right? And because so many people are advertising them, it costs me more to actually end up being shown, right? That's just how it works. Toast says, I'm no expert, but I suspect student girls are heavily advertised for certain types of products and services, not just for entrepreneurship. No, for sure. Yes, I agree. But I may suspect that like it's like I understand that. But I guarantee you, if I run a similar ad, like some different ad targeted towards the same audience, it would be relatively the same cost to show the ad, just because like that's how ads work online. I've taken classes on this. I've talked to professionals. I'm not an expert in this, but I know that the majority of the reason that ads cost a certain amount when it comes to reach, when it comes to impressions, when it comes to whatever, is because it costs more people. It costs more to get in front of certain people because certain audiences are more valuable, right? because that wouldn't really make sense. Because if then I would just run entrepreneurship ads to unlikely audiences, and then I would spend way less, right? And people would run ads to unlikely audiences when other people are paying more. Like, it wouldn't make sense if I was running an ad, if two people were running an ad, and it cost me 4 times less to run an ad to the same person because of the content. It doesn't that doesn't really make sense in terms of fairness for advertising. It makes sense that if the audience is valuable, more people will advertise to it, and therefore it will be more expensive. That's usually how ads work. But regardless, we're getting distracted. We're getting too deep into this. This is not the most important thing. But regardless, teenage girls, not that expensive to advertise to. Period. And it's likely just because, here, let me view the charts. What did I segment it towards? I've spent like $10 on this, but the majority of my money on this. Default name reach. What do we got? So I just sent it to Entrepreneur Instagram, right? That's the website URL. And you can set up tracking, app events, offline events, things like that. But I don't know how to do that kind of stuff. Teenage girls. Yeah, 13 to 18 girls. They're not in college yet, probably. Some of them may be in college. Actually, a good portion of these may be in college because a lot of people go to college around 17. But just generally very young. Same dang ad. Same everything else. Just a different audience. And so, yeah. It's just cheaper. It's just cheaper because apparently it's a less valuable audience. Maybe for me, maybe just in general. Regardless, good to know, right? Good to know for what I'm advertising, it's cheap. But maybe they don't care. And then general entrepreneurship, this was kind of cool. So general entrepreneurship, I advertised it towards people generally, and it actually wasn't that hard because it wasn't that bad. This is like just general people from, I think, like 13 to 28 or 13 to 27 or something like that, and a good amount of reach for pretty dang cheap. So it looks like business and tech students, I don't really care about. I'm going to turn that off. College and freshmen, sophomores, I don't really care. I'm turning that off. Teenage girls is valuable in terms of just followers, but like not necessarily valuable to me and what I'm advertising. I'm going to turn it off, even though the reach is pretty significant. And then general entrepreneurship, pretty solid, right? Pretty decent reach, pretty nice cost, just generally nice overall, right? Actually, I shouldn't have necessarily turned these off, but they're all approved, so I can just turn them on and off again. Anyway, so let's actually check down a couple more things. What is it? Engagement. Yes. So this is where it gets really interesting, right? This tells me how many people actually clicked on my ad. So of the thousands and thousands and thousands of people that viewed what I was putting out there, right? I think it was like 47,000 people viewed this. Here's how many people actually clicked it and actually swiped up, right? It was very few. Very, very few. It was 14 in total. And somebody shared the post. Somebody sent this to somebody else, I guess. I think you can send Instagram stories to other people. So one person did that from the teenage girls. They were like, haha, like, look at this kid, something like that. And then, interestingly enough, 7 of the 37,000 that we advertised to, 7 teenage girls, which is the most of any other category, actually swiped up and clicked. Right? They actually like swiped up on my ad, and they were scrolling through the story, and they're like, "Oh, what's this?" They swiped up and they saw my profile and they visited my profile. Right? So 14 people in total out of the however much that I spent, like $16. 14 people actually visited my ad. I actually checked it out, and they checked out my profile. Right? And actually, I saw my profile views on my Instagram account go up. It's interesting. So, this is interesting. The business and tech students from these top colleges, one of them converted. And so, given how much it costs about $1.38 to get one of them to swipe up on that ad. For teenage girls, yes, I got more swipe ups than any other category, but I also advertised like 10, 20 times as much to this category. So in terms of actually how much it costs to get one of them to swipe up, it was $1.19. And this is the most important, cost per click is by far the most important metric, right? Or if we could track it, cost per follow, that would be amazing. But we can just kind of tell from how things are going. but cost per follow is what you would want, right? Because our goal is to follow. The goal with any advertising is cost per actual sale or cost per any actual goal, right? Because when somebody actually commits your goal, now you know exactly how much money you need to spend on average to get somebody to actually do what you want them to do. And so if in theory I was selling a product, the reason this is important is because in theory if I was selling like a book, right? If I wrote a book on entrepreneurship or whatever the flip, and I wanted to sell this book and I was running ads on it, if I could somehow get, and this is very, very difficult, this is not that easy, I'm making it sound really simple. If I could somehow get my ad or my cost per buy, maybe like, let's say like 1 in 10 people that actually click on my link buy my book, right? So I multiply this by 10. Yes, cost per conversion, exactly. Cost per conversion, same exact thing. That was the term that I was looking for. Cost per conversion is what the most important. But you can't necessarily track that. There are probably ways to track it directly, but you can't track that because all we can track, or all I can track, all I know how to track is just how many people swipe up on the ad, right? Messages, now we're good. So anyway, but this is the most important for me right now because I don't know how many people are following me. I can just kind of track on my Instagram account how many people are following me, and I think I've gotten like 1 follow just from doing this ad. So it's like 1 in 10 people or 1 in 20 people or 1 in 15 people, when they swipe up, they actually follow me, right? So that's important. But interestingly enough, we initially thought like, oh, teenage girls, like cool, we get the most followers from this because it's the cheapest to advertise them, it's cheapest to get in their audience. But it costs almost as much as it costs to get a business/tech student to actually visit our ad, because just because so many people visit it doesn't mean everybody does the same thing when they visit your ad, right? So interestingly enough, for general entrepreneurship, this is the one that's by far converting the best because we've gotten 6 link clicks, not a lot at all. But it only costs like 38 cents to get somebody that's interested in entrepreneurship in general to swipe up. And that makes sense, right? That makes sense for the actual ad that I ran. So, good stuff. Now we know, and it's good that I turned everything else off because this is the one that is converting the best. This is the one that's getting me the most bang for my buck. And instead of paying 99 cents per action, I'm going to end up, like on average from running all of these, I'm going to pay 38 cents on average for doing this, right? Cool. So that's really good to know. Now, I want to briefly, before we move on to the LinkedIn ad, because the LinkedIn ad should be really interesting, and there's actually some funny stuff, but that I want to talk about with that. Let's go visit my old ad and see what converted there and what converted, like what didn't. So let's remember this. We got 6 link clicks and it was 38 cents about for somebody to click and swipe up on my profile. Cool. 38 cents. That sounds good to me. Now let's go find my old campaign. View charts. It looks like I only spent like $15 on this. So actually not that much at all. Maybe I didn't spend that much as much as I thought I did. Here, let me actually go and click into it. Here we go. Yeah. So post shares, link clicks. I got almost 360 people to actually click on my link for $15, and the cost per click was 4 cents. That's like, what is that? That's fucking ridiculous. That's like 38 divided by 4. It's like 10. It's almost 10. I should have known it was 10. It's 38 and 4. But like, that's like 10 times cheaper. So why the hell did that convert so much better? It was the same exact audience, almost exactly the same dang audience, right? Maybe I should just turn this on again. Maybe I should just turn it on again. I don't know where it. Let me check, because that would be really interesting to see if it performs just as well. Let's see if I can edit this. Let's see what Entrepreneur Go. Select page. Facebook page. 250 per day. Plenty of reach. Same fucking. Oh my god. Interest entrepreneurship English. So language English UK or English US. And worldwide. Okay. So this is interesting. This is important. This may be the reason. This is important to know. 13 to 24, about the same audience. A little bit younger. I think I targeted until 26 for the other one. But interest entrepreneurship, same exact thing. Their language was English, sure, yay. But I did target it worldwide. Because when it comes to, I've heard, again, do not quote me on this, but when it comes to getting conversions and actually getting ads, apparently in terms of reach, it is a lot cheaper. And I learned this from Finn. Finn posted this online. It is a whole lot cheaper to advertise worldwide, because when it comes to some countries that aren't the U.S. or like high value countries, or what Facebook considers to be high value countries, it ends up costing a lot less. So we still have reach, we still have everything else. We're only caring about general entrepreneurship now. I have it hooked up 15 to this. Maybe we'll go down to, I feel like people can start to understand around there, and we'll put it down to 26. So let's change this. Still just entrepreneurship, but the location, my location is in the United States, and the United States costs a lot more than the rest of the world in general. So let's do worldwide. Worldwide. There we go. Worldwide region. So it's everywhere. Now it's going everywhere. And just so we make sure, show more options. All languages. No, not all languages. Enter a language. English all. English all. Boom. So now I'm reaching significantly more people. This is what I was doing wrong. This is definitely part of what I was doing wrong. Now I'm reaching significantly more people. Way more. And this is good. This is good to know. So edit placements, everything else is the same. Everything else is exactly the same. And we're just going to publish. Now we have a different audience. Now we're just going to publish. See where that goes, right? But my potential reach is much bigger now, because I'm advertising to so many more people. It's less targeted, and as a result, it charges me less, because I'm targeting less. It's so much broader. So whoever it ends up finding in my very broad thing that isn't being advertised to aggressively, that isn't like a high value candidate, then I get them, because I'm paying a lot less. So it's a way to save a bit of cash when you're doing that kind of stuff. So this is interesting now. This is very interesting. That was a good lesson. I forgot that. I completely forgot about that. So that's cool. Awesomeness. Reach is way boosted now, for the same amount of money that I was spending before, right? Oops. I apologize if I tap the microphone and it bothers anybody's ears. But boom, now we know. Now we flip-flop and know. So our cost per click should go up significantly. So it'll be interesting to see if I can get to that same level, or if my ad ends up being different or more expensive. So I'm going to leave this going. I'm probably going to drop it down lower though. So let me go back here, edit. Let's not do daily budget 25. Let's do daily budget $5. Publish. Cool. So now everything should be good. Nice. Oh, it's interview again. Ugh, I didn't change the actual fucking ad creative. I hate that they do that. But cool. Cool. Yeet, as the kids say. Sounds good to me. Great. Fabulous. Cool. So now that's good. So now we have made actually, hold on. So at the end of this, my LinkedIn ad was limited. Don't forget to cancel the Insta ads, and maybe the LinkedIn one too, because money is expensive. Money is very expensive. I can confirm that absolutely. And so maybe I want to maybe I want to edit this. Campaign budget, daily budget, general entrepreneurship. Do I get to set? Oh, yeah, here. End run on. So I'm just going to do this for the next, 2 days. I feel like end run on, don't schedule end date, run is ongoing. Let's just end it on Monday. Yeah, we'll end it on Monday. At 12 a.m. Sounds good. So this is a limit, right? This won't completely destroy me. But it'll be interesting to see what happens. And I'll spend $10 more. Who fucking cares? It's not that much. and it's a good experiment to see if anything has changed with how the conversions that I can get on ads. Cool. Awesomeness. So now we went over Instagram ads and how that works. Looks like I was messing up, but we found the reason and we fixed it. So cool. In terms of my LinkedIn ad, so actually we spent a lot of time on the Instagram ad, so I'm probably not gonna have time to do some stuff down here. But interestingly enough, here's some lessons. So this is fun for me to experiment with because a couple of my friends on LinkedIn weren't like entirely sure about different growth like options, but LinkedIn ads make sense, right? Because on Instagram, very popular method to grow your audience, very, very popular. But nobody's tried that on LinkedIn from what I've heard. Like people that are successfully growing the audiences are not trying this on LinkedIn, which is interesting. Why? So let's find out why. One of the reasons I figured out is ads are only for business pages. Ads are only available for business pages. And so that limits you, right? So I can't run them independently on my profile. I could be creative and I could mess around, but you can only run them on business pages from what I can tell. So you have to make a business page for your business and run it to your business page. Cool. And you can promote posts, you can do a whole bunch of different stuff, right? But the main thing is it's just for business pages. So you can't run it on personal profiles. I wonder if there are other ways. I didn't fully look over it, but we can look into it in a LinkedIn campaign. But because I don't have a business page for myself, I just decided to fuck around. And I thought I had ad credit, but I didn't. But I did it on my LinkedIn memes page. So some really funny stuff is happening with this LinkedIn meme page. We have like a ton of like random visitors. This is not really from my ads. Like a little bit of this is from my ads, but it's unbelievable. I sponsored this post. How am I floating? Oh, how am I floating? I green screened myself. Benny, what's up? Nice to see you here. Let me add you. But yeah, no, I just have a green screen in the back, and I'm doing a bunch of fancy stuff. But this is my ad. Yeah, Toast loves the ad, the freaking memes. This is the ad. It's not an ad. I made a post last night, or like 21 hours ago, middle of the flipping whenever, and I just made a funny little thing, and I made a joke, right? Like I can grow your like, hey, we got a LinkedIn expert here. See, nobody cares, and this is a very popular ad format. I love this actor because he's Newman from Seinfeld. But it's a very funny ad. It's very, very savage. It's like somebody's trying to say something. It's like, okay, please shut up. Nobody gives a heck. And so the actual engagement, very little. But here's the stats from the ad. So I ran. Let's go to Campaign Manager. Actually, it spent $12. Also, interesting little thing about LinkedIn. When it says like $10 per day, it gives you like a range. It's like, oh, okay, you said $10 per day. So we're going to spend $8 to $12 per day, and they give you a little range. LinkedIn's a greedy little hoe, and they like always charge $12. I ran an ad recently on a post, and at least for this kind of stuff, like where you're advertising on posts, they charge you as much as they possibly can. They're greedy about it. So be aware when you say $10, you're spending $12 per day. That's just like that's a good thing to know. But I ran it for $12. I spent $12 on this, and I got 4,300 views. Not too bad. Considering I only have 62 followers, not bad. But I got 0 reactions, so 0 actual engagement. But interestingly enough, I got 74 clicks on the actual thing, and that's actually a decent engagement rate. Like 1.71 is actually a really solid engagement rate for an ad. So out of the people that viewed it, a lot of people were like, what the hell is this? And they clicked, right? Organic stats, interestingly enough, we got a way higher engagement rate. And I think that's just kind of a custom thing for LinkedIn right now. Like with Instagram, you're going to get much higher, much higher because it's so cheap to run ads on Instagram. You're going to get much higher engagement for however much you spend, in my opinion, I think. Don't quote me on that, but I think. And so you're going to get more reactions and clicks organically, and your engagement rate is going to be a lot higher just organically. But you need a lot of followers, and that takes a lot of time, and that's just like time expensive, right? And because I posted this in the middle of the night, it got very little actual engagement, or like 8 p.m. on a Saturday or on a Friday. So nobody's going to be viewing that. You usually want to post around like 9 a.m. to noon on weekdays, like Tuesday through Thursday. But organic stats, this. But of the 130 people that viewed it, we actually got 2 reactions. We got like almost 5% click-through rate and a ridiculous engagement rate, right? So much higher. And the people that actually clicked, like it's way more worth it in terms of like what's actually going on in terms of organic, right? But we got tons of impressions. And so maybe I didn't advertise this. I just advertised this broadly to the United States, which maybe I fucked up on that again. Maybe I should have done worldwide. In fact, I probably should have. But I spent $12, got a ton of impressions, and a really solid amount of clicks. But I would probably want to change some stuff, right? But it was interesting to see. So you get this about this much impressions for $12, which may not be worth it. I know LinkedIn ads are very expensive, but it was a good experiment, right? And it was like $12. Fucking who cares? Yeah, so pretty funny. And custom button clicks, visit website. That actually goes to my personal website. Just generally, like, look at this. This is hilarious. Just a quick little rant. If I post these on like at normal times, this is 2 months ago. I didn't share this. I didn't do anything. Just with like 50 followers, it gets like 430 impressions. Like I don't know if and like this one down here got like 660 impressions. This one down here got like 450 impressions. I had like 20, 30, 40, 50 followers when I was doing this, right? I shared this one, and it overall just got like 406 impressions, and that actually got like the most engagement just because I shared it on my personal profile, so people went and checked it out. But fucking like with a very small amount of followers on my business account for this dumb little thing, and I made a little background that looks really stupid, but like a ton of people are visiting it. I'm getting like a solid amount of new followers every few little bit. I'm gonna continue with this. I'm gonna make a bunch of memes, and I'm gonna schedule them all to be posted, and it's hilarious. It's hilarious how much people actually engage with memes. So dumb. And somebody actually shared one of my memes. I think it was this one. Yeah. Where was it? Show stats. It got 1 share. Yeah. So funny. Show stats down here. No shares, but like a really solid engagement rate. Tons of people did clicks. Show stats. No shares. Show stats. 2 shares. So it's fucking hilarious. It's absolutely fucking hilarious. Oh, I got a text about a thing. So it's really funny. I don't know. LinkedIn memes is actually working out. And I've only made like 2, 3, 4, 5 posts, but I already got like 62 followers. Remember, hey, actually, while we were doing this, somebody went and followed. I think it was probably somebody that was on the stream. But yeah, we got another follower. So hilarious. I'm totally gonna try to become a meme god on fucking LinkedIn, which is the dumbest thing that I've ever done in my entire life. But it's interesting to know, right? We got a solid amount of clicks. The actual click-through rate that you get on LinkedIn ads, really solid. I also very broadly advertise this, and I wonder, let's go see if we can check out, yeah, this is it. Let's go see, calm down, Mr. Influencer. Let's see what happens. Let's see what we find out. So, yeah, this is the thing. Great. Wait, spent $24? Why did it say it spent... I don't like that. Maybe this was me. I think it's smart because someone's doing it. Yeah, no. There's eventually going to be meme accounts on here. By the way, the amount spent when it goes to like these little ad things, it lies because I was running. Oh my god, terrifying little story. I was running an ad for a new freelance client that I got, and I spent like I sucked at it for 2 days, $10 per day. Right? Very simple, very small. I checked 2 days later, and it said, like, maximum it was supposed to spend was $24, right? It said it had spent $168, and I just got the client, like, literally yesterday. So, like, it looks terrible. It's like, oh, like, go try it out an ad, and I accidentally spend, like almost like 7 or 8 times as much as I'm supposed to. Like, okay, like that scared the living crap out of me. But apparently their ad budget is much higher than I thought it was, so it wouldn't have been a big deal. But like, it scared the poop out of me, man. The poop was gone. But cost per result, it should be about half because it's not 24, it's 12. It's just being an idiot. It misleads you because I think their database is slow. But yeah, so I wonder where manage. Yeah. So audience, let's check what the audience was. It was just everybody in the US, right? Yeah. So can I add locations worldwide? Does that work? World. The worlds. Flippin'. Okay, so it doesn't let you do that, but maybe it's say North America. Yeah. So it lets you do North America. So what I would do is I would just say North America, South America, all of the different places, right? Like you would what's up, Paul? No, yeah, but like I would just try to target the entire world, right? With your ads, just because it ends up being way, way cheaper. Just like we did with Instagram. So, hilarious. Green screen. Yeah. Green screens are great. What's up, Paul? How's it going? Good to see you here. Try Planet Earth. I don't think Planet Earth is going to work. But regardless, maybe there's some way to target worldwide like there is on Instagram ads. Yeah. So you want to do that. I messed up on that. As a result, probably way more expensive than it had to be to get the same amount of impressions or the same amount of whatever, because other countries are just less expensive with this kind of stuff. You're going to be the conduit for the one and true meme god. I wonder who you're talking about, Toast. Yeah, so you can only run, point of the story is you can only run LinkedIn ads on business accounts. So if I were to run an ad on myself, I wanted to run an ad on myself, right? I wanted to run an ad on Entrepreneur, right? My personal profile. Follow my personal profile and get more followers, right? That's great and all, but I can't do that unless I have a business account for me, right? So I would have to go and I would have to make an Entrepreneur biz page, right? Actually, here's my ad that I prepared. This is LinkedIn ad done. So tell me if you can't hear this.
Called Entrepreneur, and I post a lot and I document a lot of little experiments that I'm doing on the platform. But the main thing that I do is I do live streams every weekend or every week, and on these live streams we experiment. Basically, the
cool guy pointing to the cool guy. He's a cool guy. I look really yellow now that I look at it. Why do I look so yellow on the stream?
Start up a little whatever, and we try to make it work. We try to sell
whatever.
It, we try to make it
Cool. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, bye. Entrepreneur Live Saturdays. Oh, cool. So that was the ad. Oh, burpee. I should redo it with the green screen. Maybe, possibly. I like the background. I like a casual background. For most of my videos, I think I would move the green screen if I were to do some of the videos, but because I can't like fully perfect everything yet, and it still looks a little bit fuzzy, especially when it's that big. But regardless, whatever. I will be experimenting a ton with the green screen. We'll be doing plenty of really fun stuff with the green screen. It'll be a lot of fun. But cool, right? So that was my little ad, and I was going to run that directly to my personal profile. So the follow button on the thing would go straight to my actual profile. It was a great ad. I worked a decent amount on it, and it looked good. It like cut in different places, and it was engaging. But I can't run that to my personal profile because I have to make a biz page. So casual background is where it's at. Yeah, I agree, Paul. So I like to move. Like my usual background is this. I have this weird. I'm in the same place as I usually am. I'm in the same places where I am when I'm filming this video, but I have this giant green screen, these like two white umbrellas, and I have like a whole setup now, and my camera's in front of me. It's like this whole like giant setup and a microphone, all this different stuff. So for the future, this is probably going to be the same background that I use, just look like casual background, living room, whatever. Nice lighting usually, but I'm going to use better lighting so I can do it in the middle of the night. I'm going to have the green screen away so it doesn't mess up all the colors, which is why I look yellow and green right now. And then I'm going to have my little microphone so I have higher sound quality because my freaking camera microphone is all messed up. But yeah, so I'll have also, because of all of this, a lot higher quality videos in the future. So that'd be really cool. But regardless, it looks really dumb. I'm going to have people over, I think, in like 20 minutes after the stream. And they're going to be like, what the fuck is wrong with your living room? Why is there a giant green screen and umbrellas and shit? But yeah, so it's funny. But anyway, I'll be making a bunch of cool videos, and it'll be really nice. And I'm very happy about it. Okay, so we don't really have a ton of time. Oh, actually, on the LinkedIn ad that I ran, natural growth on the fucking LinkedIn memes page is ridiculous. I think it's hilarious, and I'm totally gonna try to gain like thousands and thousands of followers. You mean, excuse me, Jess? Are you coming at me with about my skin tone? Yes, I'm pale. I don't go outside. How dare you assault me like that? I live inside. I don't well, everybody lives inside, but I don't do things. I am extremely lame lately for the past few months. It's ridiculous. I don't go outside. So yes, I am stupid pale, but also it's winter and it's Pittsburgh. So even if I went outside, it's cloudy as fuck all the time, or raining or snowing. And so I'm probably not going to get any sun anyways. But catch me in the summer when I'm just as pale because I don't go outside. Anyway, I'm a loser. But yes, Toast. So Toast says you want to get audience feedback from the next meme post. This is one that he sent me. I'm going to show it to you. Let me find it. Memes. I might change this around a little bit, but this is something that I think is really funny, and this is very relatable. So my management style embodies the project life cycle into a hierarchy of synergistic process stages. Made weightless by overuse of pure abstraction, he floated away. Something like this. I'm probably gonna redo this a little bit, but something like this, making fun of the concept of just people being unbelievably flippin'. It's in the DNA. It is absolutely in the DNA, Mom. Yeah, we are just pale peoples. Oh, because you're saying we're Vikings. Is that what you're saying? My God. Swedish as heck, so I'm pale. But anyway, something about how ridiculous abstraction and how unbelievable people get. Shut up. Toast says, God, that's genius. Here, let me show his little comment. Damn, that's brilliant. He sent me that meme. And he's always saying what does he say? He's like, you can be a conduit for the one and true meme god. That's what I heard when I applied to CMU and still ended up with raining cloudy snow. Yeah, no, exactly. Homebodies and yes, Swedish. Yep. Oh, you applied to CMU. That's interesting. That's super cool. Where are you right now? We're checking out Paul. We're peeking Paul's profile. I'm curious. Paul seems cool. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. What's up, boy? I'm sorry I'm stalking you publicly on my stream. We should hang out. But yeah, so that's my little meme that I'm going to be posting something similar to that. I'm going to try to find a more consistent format. So here, meme maker. This usually, meme generator isn't what we want. Oh no, actually maybe that is. But it lets you pick existing memes. Make a meme online. Oh, blah, 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 blah. This isn't what I want. Oh, here we go. Trending memes. SpongeBob worships and bows to something. What is it? There's a bunch of these different little things. No meme on WoW. Yeah, there's a bunch of little things like this. There was a meme generator that I really liked before. Blank meme. Here, blank meme generator. I think this should caption this meme. I think this is where we wanted to be. Popular. Search all memes. Feature blank memes. Gotta go. I will see you later. Or does that mean gotta go? We'll send memes later. Yes, Paul. That sounds great. Honey Badger meme is actually Honey Badger meme is pretty. It's an old one, and we're getting too deep into this. But there's some meme maker online, and I'm gonna try to make something a little bit more relatable, something more recognizable than the meme that you sent me, Toast. Because the concept is hilarious and it's perfect. And I'm probably gonna use the exact same words, but just in a format that people recognize a little bit more. Because there are some memes. Honey Badger meme was a really old meme. That was a while ago. But yeah, beyond that, we don't really have much time. I'm probably going to end this a little bit early because I'm getting tired. But yeah, so I'm going to make an entrepreneur business page, and I'm going to run that ad, right? I'm going to run the ad that I showed you, the little video ad, this one, right? I'm going to run this little video because I think it works well. I think it's captioned well. It all looks fine. And I spent time making it, so I might as well use it. But I'm going to have to make an entrepreneur business page on LinkedIn that will link probably to my personal profile or to entrepreneur.blog, right? So who knows? Maybe that'll be a new follower thing for me, but we'll find out. And I'll say it's this is live streams. You can sign up here, blah, 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 blah. But from there, I can run my ad. From there, I can build followers on a separate business account. From there, I can do a bunch of other things, right? But you need a business account if you're going to run a LinkedIn ad. And I would try it. I think I'm probably gonna try in the future, and I'll post about it. It'll be good. But yeah. So I canceled the Instagram ads because some of those weren't doing really well, and hopefully they'll do better now. I wonder if we have any data yet. Ba, ba, ba. So it was 38 cents. Has it dropped at all since I did it? 43 cents. Interesting. It went up. Very interesting. Very, very. Oh, no, wait, it hasn't changed. The fuck? Everything went up. Is it because I stopped them? Whatever. Unimportant. But yeah. So I stopped the Instagram ads, and we'll see what happens in the future. Yeah, that's really all I had to show today, and we got through it around the same time that I expected to get through it. But yeah, new format, test, very fun about that, very happy. The quality of the stream should be going up. Very excited. And this is more shareable, this is more interesting. But for the rest of the time, let me just enlarge what we got going on here. Oh, no, that is not what I wanted to do. Clip it up there. Boop. And I guess we'll just chat. We'll just chit chat. We'll just hang out. I'll do a little bit of ranting. What stuff has been going on lately? So the LinkedIn ad for my client scared the living fuck out of me. That was terrifying. But things are going well. So I'm actually doing well in terms of sustaining myself. I have a speaking gig at the end of the month. I'm very excited about that. I'm hosting an event at the same day. So as soon as I get back from my gig, I'll be heading to my event. Stuff is good. I don't want to talk about the new client yet. It's not like unbelievably exciting for my audience. I'll talk about it at some point later, yeah, but not right now. I think we're just gonna keep it chill, toast. And we'll keep it on the DL for now. It's nothing unbelievably exciting. It's just a cool company that I'm really excited working for. But yeah, it's good. It was on Thursday morning. From Thursday to, I think, what was it? Thursday it was Thursday this past week, and then I think Tuesday the week prior. But I told you I was going, or for those that were streamed, hopped in on my last streams, I told you that I was doing education on entrepreneurship for 6th graders. I was doing a little lecture series for a couple of 6th graders at a local private school, and it's for a school called the Ellis School here in Pittsburgh. It's a girls' school, girls' middle school, and I think probably elementary too. It looked like it was an elementary school as well. As well as a daycare, so maybe kindergarten. But it was like K through 8, I think. Maybe there's a high school, but it didn't seem like it. But anyway, Ellis School. Great little organization. They're really, really interested in getting into entrepreneurship, and there was a group of 6th graders that they wanted to kind of test this on. And so I got roped into this because I thought it would be really great. I thought it would be really fun, content for my stuff, right? It makes sense for entrepreneurs, so I'll have a ton of fun with it. Plus, teaching 6th graders, that sounds hilarious. That sounds wonderful. And it'll be an interesting experiment in terms of making the content as simple as possible and as easily digestible as possible. So cool experiment. Very excited about it. Having a lot of fun. I went, and this is a little. Let me show you. This is a little thing from. You can't really see too much of it, can you? It's a little bit blurred out because it's all dark. Here we go. Yeah. It's a little backwards because I'm reversed, but it's just a little name tag, cute little name tag, for every time I check into the school because they have security protocols and shit. But I walked in, hung out. It was like a 3-hour class that I sat down and helped. Everybody came up with startup ideas. All the girls came up with startup ideas. They got into teams. They teamed up on different startup ideas, and it was this whole awesome little system. And now everybody has teams. They're all working on little ideas. They're all finding out what audience are we advertising to, who wants to buy this, what problem are we solving, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it's really cool. One group wants to help refugees and help the organizations that help refugees be a little bit more efficient in terms of logistics. One group wants to just make a spoon that's better. One group wants to make a home veterinary care system so that you can it's vet on the go. You can order things when you can't reach your vet or when the vet is closed, and there are different options to make sure that your pet is healthy outside of veterinary hours or when vets are too expensive. There is no spoon? What do you mean? What on earth are you talking about? Anyway, so a bunch of different really fun things, right? And they're coming up with all these really Matrix pop culture. I'm sorry, I'm not cultured at all. We should all know this by now. I'm a nerd who sits in his living room in front of a green screen with a microphone talking about running ads. Anyway, but I'm doing this little stint with them, and I'm helping them all out. And we kind of started to bond it. Everybody started to like me a little bit more, and everybody was giggling at me and making jokes. And I started to say just like some fun stuff, right? And I said like my usual lingo, my dumb lingo. I don't think it's dumb, but they do. Is like dope, swag, awesome, lit, right? Like I say, like all this is like relatively popular now in terms of my age demographic, and some of it is not. Like swag was a while ago, and now it's just kind of a more general term. But I say stuff like that, like dope, like unironically, just because like it's fun, right? And that's like a lot of my friends know me for like saying just like dorky lexicon stuff, whatever. But when the 6th grade girls heard it, they lost their mind. I said lit in front of one table, and they told everybody else. And in like 5 minutes, like half the room was laughing their ass off because I said lit. And then I said like they were just like constantly listening for like more weird things that I would say. So I said like neato to the whole class because I heard like a great pitch. And they were all like, is he going to say something else? Is he going to say something else? And so I was like, and I said like neato mosquito, and they all just started like everybody was making fun of me for saying like dumb stuff, right? And they all were like, well, you're so not hip, you're so not with the times, man. And I'm like, fuck you, I'm 22. Like, what the hell? I felt so old hanging out with these, like, they were trying to teach me, like, this new dance move called, like, the Renegade, and they taught it to me, and they showed me, and they're like, do the dance move. And every time I tried it, they would lose their minds laughing. I felt so goddamn old. Just, like at this fucking class with all these 6th graders. It was unbelievable. Like, the stuff that they taught me, that I was like, I know how to dance, and they're like, well, then do the Renegade. And I'm like, what the fuck is the Renegade? Like, what do you, oh my god, it was unbelievable. I felt like a loser. I don't know. 6th grade girls are making me feel like losers. Like, they're more exciting things are happening in other people's lives, but for me, I'm getting made fun of by a significantly younger demographic, and although I am 22, I'm just getting into my prime. I feel like I have missed out on life entirely, and I'm on a poor trajectory. Whatever, it's unbelievable. So it's hilarious. They're all hilarious. I'm gonna take some videos. I take videos whenever I go. So if you want to see stupid videos of me hanging out with 6th graders and teaching them and getting made fun of hardcore, and other fun projects that I'm working on, you should totally go follow Entrepreneur, because I post most of that on my story. And there were some really cool ideas that people came up with. I was really excited about it. Really, really cool. They're all like very distracted but shockingly mature when it comes to coming up with cool ideas. Like, they all stood up each independently of like 30 girls. They all stood up, and they're like how old are you? You're like fucking 12, right? You're like 12 when you're in 6th grade, like 11 or 12. They all stood up and they all like presented on like fucking startup ideas, like cool ideas that would all like theoretically work. What's up, man? No, but it's ridiculous. Like, no, I'm like halfway to 23. I can't express how much of like I feel like I have just missed it, right? Like, I have a high schooler friend. I think she's like 16. In my Krav Maga class, because I do like martial arts classes most of the week, and I was asking her, I was like, please tell me that you know what this is and you can explain this to me, because she's like the youngest person that I know outside of the 6th grade girls, because all my other friends are like 22, 23, 21, like me, right? And everybody that I've asked that is over 20 is like, what the fuck is the Renegade? Like, nobody's even heard of it. Like, it's like my entire like that gap of like. So somebody in high school, 16, I think she's 16, has heard of it. There is 6 years. No, like realistically, like 4 years. No, it's a private school with tons of resources and excellent teachers. That I'm not surprised they have good ideas. They're all very smart girls, and they're all really kicking ass. So it's not shocking, but it was just very impressive. Like, they're all so young. They're like coming up with startup ideas better than me. But like there's like a 4-year gap between Cass, who's the 16-year-old that I know. Like, she knows what that is, and that's And then kids, yeah, no, like, oh my god, they roasted me to pieces. I felt like a shriveled mass of just like a shriveled husk of a man after leaving that. It was unbelievable. And they, like, at the end of the class, they would literally all, like 20 of them. There's like 30. 10 of them didn't really give a fuck. Like, the other 20, like, surrounded me in, like, a semicircle, and they were all like, do it. This is how you do it. And they, like, showed it to me. They're, do it right now. Show us. And I was like, huh. Like, I tried it, and they all lost their, like, it was like, it's like when you... It's like the Vine videos of you're making a joke to your parents or your grandparents, and they're like, what do you mean? You think it's hilarious because, like, haha, how could they not get that? That's how I felt, right? That is exactly how I felt. I have just, like, no concept of what the fuck is going on, and they're all just laughing at me because they all get it and I don't, and I'm very much the out group. I'm just 24 and told someone to use the pound sign when debugging code. Finally broke down and said that. It's unbelievable. It's a great example. It's unbelievable. It's ridiculousness. Absolute ridiculousness. So teenage girls are dangerous. No kidding. They are monsters. Absolute monsters. Boys are, God, when I was a teenager, I was great. I didn't do anything wrong. I was perfect. Yeah, we wish. But it's good. So, fun experiences, fun stuff. I will be posting a bunch about that on Instagram, and I'll be posting a bunch about my new speaking gig, which is happening soon, which is going to be really, really exciting. If I can do consistent speaking gigs, holy fuck. That would be amazing. But we'll see. We'll see how that works out. That would be awesome, though. But just going well. Shit is going well. Actually, another quick update on AngelList. Angel.co. I got some responses. Connect. Done. I'm trying to become more active on AngelList as a social media. And connections, yep. Connecting to more people, growing a little audience slowly but surely. And I actually messaged the head of, what was it, from others? Yeah. So Kevin William David. Kevin William David is the director of community at AngelList. And he's the number one hunter on Product Hunt. Super important guy. And I messaged him here, and Aaron said, like, one of my friends was like, I reached out to him. I was like, if I picked your brain on how best to get started posting content on this platform, right? And he got back to me in like a day, like literally like one day, and he was like, hey, good to connect you. You have a publication, you're writing your own blog, what's going on? And I asked him a bunch of questions, and he responded. He responded because I messaged him on his platform. So, like, I got lucky there. I should have done better outreach. But yeah, I got a bunch of advice on like how it works. The likes on like the comments and things like that on AngelList right here along the sidebar are cumulative, so I should just post as much as I fucking can. There's a Chrome extension, I should get that. That sounds great. I didn't notice that. AngelList, post to AngelList. Yep. Add to Chrome. Best believe. Post to AngelList. Show up posting comments on pages. Randomize data for pages you visit. Yeah, exactly. I'll send data. I thought they'd like me more if I send data. But that means like this is a very immature platform. You're absolutely right, Toast. There's a whole lot of different things that I can use and that I can express here to build an audience, right? So this is how many people are posting. Lillian Chen, do I feel like I know? Nope, don't know her. Thought I know her. Follow, because she's product and AngelList. Previously IBM, Cornell, very smart girl. Rick Terozzi. I did message Rick, didn't get back to me, but I got a fucking response from motherfucking Kevin William David. So fuck it. Like, he's the person that I would absolutely need to talk about. So I'm just gonna start being more active on here. I wish there was an app on my phone that I could use, but this is a perfect little thing. So I like finding immature social media platforms, and using them to your advantage, like how I did with LinkedIn like a year and a half ago. Great idea. It's a great way to build an audience and have a lot of fun. But anyway, that's all I got to say. Shit's going really well for me. I'm very excited about all the cool stuff that's going to be happening in the future with the live stream and doing stuff on here. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Let me see if I can Weasel my little buddy up. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, new Monster News. I'm having an event later this month. And that's great. But beyond that, shit's just plugging along. I got some cool emails that I got to go through from last gen. There may be some new opportunities for what I'm doing in terms of like sourcing and stuff, but we'll see. We will find out. But yeah, stuff's going good for me. I appreciate everybody joining today. I know it took us a little while to get started. I'm curious of how many people are viewing. Yeah, we got 9. This was a small stream today. It was interesting. My live stream before, my last live stream last week, I did the little LinkedIn, what was it? The little LinkedIn thing, like weekly live stream, right? And I did the same thing this time, but didn't work nearly as well. It's interesting. So there's still some stuff that I gotta figure out with LinkedIn. But yeah, things are going well. If you sign up for my if you sign up for my newsletter online on entrepreneur.blog and you didn't get a invite on LinkedIn and you want an invite, just please like message me and send me your LinkedIn account and connect with me, because I can only do it through LinkedIn accounts right now. Because I feel like calendar invites is a little weird, but I make a little LinkedIn event for every live stream that I'm going to be doing in the future, and yeah, so it should be good. This is cool. So this is Peter Yang. He's he's a best-selling author. He wrote The Art of Writing. He's like fucking 16. The kid's unbelievable. I don't know if he's 16. I think he's a little bit older than 16, but he's really, really good at advertising. He's starting his own little startup, and he's on Product Hunt. Like, he's a really unbelievable Canadian, super young entrepreneur. I think he's like 18. He's already published a book, and he's done really, really well with it. He sent me his book because I helped review some of his stuff. But yeah, really, really cool guy. If you want to check out what some of the stuff he's doing, he's going to be unbelievable in the future. If he's already getting started now, Jesus fucking Christ. I wish I got started when I was his age. Took me a while. But yeah, I don't know. So shit's going good. That's all I really got to say. I appreciate everybody hopping on. I think it was a little bit boring just because like ads are a little boring. We were just going through data and we got sidetracked a little bit here and there. But no, this was fun. I enjoyed this. And I appreciate everybody hopping on and joining me and hanging out. So I will talk to y'all, I think, next weekend. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see what we're going to be doing. I don't know what we're going to be doing. I might give you a little bit more info on some of the ads. We'll go over that. But I don't know. I don't know what else we could work on. We might work on a little project called Hire PGH that I've been thinking about. Sounds great, Marcel. Like, hit me the fuck up. Absolutely, anytime. Hit me with anything you want. Would love to talk. So, and I'm usually pretty responsive on LinkedIn. I usually respond within a day or seconds if I'm on my phone. Absolutely slide in my DMs. Do it. But I will see you all later. I appreciate all of everybody hopping on. I like this new format. I'm very excited about my little microphone and everything else. Now we can do like ASMR Entrepreneur, where we talk about entrepreneurship, but in a satisfying way. Anyway, so I'll see y'all later. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next weekend. I might just start doing Wednesday ones a little bit more too, because those seem to be a lot of fun and a lot of people seem to join those. So, but we'll see. I will see y'all later. Hope you have a wonderful night. Thank you for joining me, and give me suggestions if you want other streams to happen, or you want me to review other things or test out products or whatever the fuck, right? Always down for more ideas. So I'll see you later. Bye.